lunch and bring it to your desk. But I hope that you're doing that and take my advice on that because you can do it. So anyway, we're back. And we're back with Clint Fuquay.
Yes, good to be back.
Yes, and he is our personal trainer. And I'm going to let you've got several websites for people to get a hold of you from. And boy, no, you talk about throwing me out of the theater. Okay, let's start again. This is live, remember?
Yeah, always
okay.
Live. Live is fun.
Okay. Oh, welcome back, Clint.
Good to be back. Good to be back. This is the first official show for the Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show. So this is episode number 1, everybody. Episode number 1 of many, many, many to come.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yes. So today, basically, we're going to go over exercise versus sports. So everybody likes to go out and play sports. Everybody needs to go exercise. A lot of people go play sports to exercise. And we're going to talk about that and how doing a sport really is an exercise. Overall, usually sports are actually one of the most unhealthy things you can do for your body because sports break your body down, essentially. Because you're doing something for an extended period of time, you have a certain goal, you're going to push through all the pain, you're going to push through everything to get that goal accomplished. I'm going to run that marathon, that 26.2 miles. I don't care if I've got my foot in a cast, I'm going to do it. There's not much of anything healthy about that. And there was actually a great article in Dallas Morning News yesterday. Here we go. Anchor Break. This is talking about injuries.
How to tell whether exercising could result in further injury.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was a fantastic article talking about, if you have a pain, what does that pain mean to you? If it's just a, soreness after a workout, well, it's because you worked out, you're sore, you got some small minor tears in your muscles, they'll repair, you'll be fine. You have some major pain that feels like somebody's got a knife going through a muscle, that's probably a tear you need to lay off. If you have something really throbbing, really acute pain that's not really in the muscle but it's really deep, you might want to go get an MRI, get a CAT scan, something like that, see if you have a stress fracture. That's usually what that's from. And if you do marathon training, running, things like that, and you do too much mileage too soon, the possibility of getting a stress fracture in lower leg, foot, is pretty much 90% that it will happen, especially if you have bad shoes. If you're going to run,
shoes,
if you're going to run, go to Luke's Locker or go to one of the really good stores that are going to actually fit you in a pair of shoes that actually fits your feet, fit your running style. They can correct pronation.
Should you get an
over? Like
could you get bigger or some? I mean, well, not bigger, but how much bigger? Or is there to accommodate your socks or?
Yeah, they'll fit you with all that. They actually go through a whole.
They've got a good. Okay.
They are fantastic. They go through a lot of training to figure out how to fit you in the right shoes.
Okay.
But Clint, Academy sports, no, they're not a good place.
If you're going to go run a marathon, you're going to put the time and the effort in this thing. Or if you're going to go bike and go do like the Hotter Than Hell 100. You're going to be on those shoes for a long time. You're going to be on that bike for a long time. You might as well have the best shoe or bike or whatever piece of equipment you can have, period. Pay the extra for it. Pay that $120 because it's, it'll be worth it in the end. Because otherwise you'll get injured. You'll hate it. You won't want to do it.
And what's a good place for what you wear that's a good price? Because it doesn't really matter. I mean, you may be.
The clothing, as long as you get some good biker shorts underneath that keeps everything from rubbing.
Cotton.
Cotton, no. Go with the synthetics.
Really?
So like Under Armour, I'm going to throw them out there because Under Armour makes fantastic products. I love their stuff. Of course, so does Nike, so does Reebok, Champion, all those.
They all need to be advertised.
Yeah. So, they all make great stuff. Find out what fits best on you because they all have different cuts. They all have different models that they use for the cut of the clothing. But we're getting off subject, so we're going to get back into this. So this is my little lead-in on the whole Anchor Break thing. I'm talking about sports. Looking at sports, what they are. Sports are basically either performance, goal-driven. You're pushing the limits, pushing the extremities. You're going for as much as you can do, or I'm going to cover this distance in a certain amount of time. I have to make this thing, okay? And it's really not about health. Once you start doing that, you don't really care about your health at that point. You care about this goal that I've got to attain. I'm going to hit so many home runs during the season of softball. I'm going to make this many catches. I'm going to, whatever. So if you go out, you're playing softball, and you think you're exercising, you're not. You have some kind of competitive goal that you're trying to fulfill, and you're going to do whatever you can to fulfill that goal, which usually ends up being injury, and you go to the little dock in the box, and you end up in a cast, whatever. And the main thing with sports, if you look at sports, I mean NBA and NFL, things like that, these guys, the spectrum for that is you go in, you test. So, they'll do the testing compounds, okay? So you got the NFL compound or the NFL combine. Everybody in that combine gets tested, okay? They're looking at the 40 times, they're looking at bench press, they're looking at how far you can throw the ball, all these things, okay? So you test, then you train, and you train to try and get better on these tests. You test again, you figure out where you're at on that, you train some more, and then you perform. Then you have your season. You're playing, and you really don't train a whole lot during the season other than some injury rehab, things like that, which is on the exercise spectrum. So you're doing that, and it repeats yearly. So these guys actually have it easy. It's pre-scheduled. We train, we test, we perform, and then we get some off time. It's off season. We go out, we party, we eat bad, put on 30 pounds, and you got to take it off before 2 days. And really and truly athletes, you're getting paid millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to do this. Stay in shape year-round. Once you're done, then enjoy it. Please, for all of us, because it drives me nuts to see that. And water, everybody, you got to have water all day, every day. Tons of it, as much as you can get, especially in Dallas, because it's hot in Dallas. Good God. Exercise. Exercise is something to repair, to strengthen, to relax, to align. Whenever the chiropractor's in here, we can talk about alignment, because alignment is huge. Say, like, Kathy, we talked about you want to go dancing. You want to go dance. I had a client in the past. We actually trained her specifically for dancing, because she did all the Argentinian tango and all that stuff. She loved to do that. The only problem is she had so many hip and spine issues and foot issues. Our entire hour of training was to do nothing but try to rehab her from the time she goes out dancing till the next time she goes out dancing. Because she'd go out for like 2, 3, 4 hours a night, dancing with different people, different paces. You're in the big 6-inch heels while you're doing it. And so our entire hour together was nothing but, how do I keep this woman from falling apart while she's on the dance floor and come back without her being completely torn up the next time. And it took a while to get that going, and finally we got her to where she could go out.
I think there is.
She could dance.
You need muscles for those 6-inch heels.
Yes, you do.
So in her case, dancing was a sport.
Yeah, dancing was a sport. Dancing is a sport.
Yeah.
Dancing with the Stars. You see these people, they're training like 6
that's
hours
true.
a day. I mean, it is incredible what they put their bodies through to do
My
that.
favorite exercise was always the groups where we did the jazzercise and stuff. So,
Oh, yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like aerobics classes are fantastic. I love aerobics classes. They're great, especially for building some community. You've got everybody around you. You can get all kinds of support with that. But, yeah, it's exercise, but there's also a whole sport aspect to it because, yeah, you're in there doing specific movements and everything, but you're also dancing around. There's a lot of choreography. You have all these things going on. You still need to go out and actually do a real workout to help out with enhancing your performance in the class.
Like ballerinas and stuff, because their legs are going to be on their toes, so you've got to have a very strong. Yeah.
Have you seen a ballerina's toes? Oh, it's gnarly.
Okay, but that's a sport too, even though it's entertainment.
That's a sport too. It's entertainment, but it's a sport.
Well, let me ask you this: yoga, sport, or exercise?
Yoga can be a little bit of both. Classical yoga would be exercise. So you go in there, you relax. You're trying to get in positions. You're trying to get your muscles to relax, lengthen, elongate for you, reduce cramping, things like that. Working on some specific flexibility issues. That's where it's just exercise. It becomes a sport whenever you start doing all the power yoga stuff, and it's like, okay, I can hold a position for this long now, or we can move through all these positions in this point of time. And you start challenging yourself from that standpoint. Then you start turning into a sport, and then it's like, I can go deeper into this. I can go deeper into it. I can go deeper into this movement. And most of the yoga people will be looking at you like, what are you doing? It's not about how deep you can get into it. It's about getting into the position, relaxing into this, and making it a lifelong thing to keep yourself healthy.
Yeah. I don't know about that because I'm in yoga class last night, and it felt pretty competitive in there.
Like I said, it gets competitive. You'll have people in class looking across going, wait,